So here, got our crankcase, we've got our crankshaft and our two bearings, main bearings, front and rear, or chain end and flywheel end. Sorry, this is the flywheel end, this is the chain end. What I wanted to show you before we install all this is, I said that we'd sent off the block to replace these plugs, and they have been, and you can see they've been laser welded. They've been laser welded to make sure the heat doesn't distort the case at all, and it was so that we could clean nice and deep into here. This has been through an acid dip twice, and I think it must have been washed about 5 or 6 times now. It's really clean. All the aluminium is really tidy, there's no problems on it at all, so we can get on and fit our crank. Okay, so we've got our assembly lube here, and the first thing we're going to do is get some of that on our fingers. It's quite tacky, and I'm going to put it all over and all around this main bearing on the crank. Quite liberal with it. Okay, put that down for a second. Do the same on the other side. Which one goes all the way around. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with our bearing. We're doing the rear one first. So it's a nice bit covering there. Put that to the side for a second. Just going to wipe our fingers, try and get some of this stuff off. So we've got our crankcase on its side. I'm going to try and carefully, without hitting anything, thread this through. Go back down. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's better. You just need to be really careful of the bearings. Don't want them banging against everything. Right, then we can take our gasket here. I'll put it on this way, but before we do, I am going to put gasket on this side. So try and get some come out. There we go. Right, so I'm going to put thin spread a bit all the way around, trying to not put too much on. And walk it around a bit, spread that out a bit more even. There we go. Place this on. A bit off there. Then I'm just going to put some more lube just on the outside of this, just to help it in. Just on the outside here again. Oh, try and be quite liberal with this so we can help it in. Okay, so that's all the way around. Down for a second, try and clean off again some of the lube. And then this way up. Can try and put it on. Okay, so just gonna gently try and lower it. Try and centralise it at the same time. Sitting slightly, it is okay. I'm gonna have to raise the block up slightly, get a couple of bits of wood to put under there. That wood there, yep, that's fitting nicely. That's on. Just turn this very slightly. The gasket's moved with it a little bit, but should be okay. There we have it. So now we can put our bolts in. Got new bolts for everything, well, as many things as I can get it for, because I want to make sure I don't ruin any bolt threads or anything. Here we have some Loctite red 243, this sort. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this on the threads. Encourage them not to come back out. Stuff inside is blue. Oh gosh, that was a lot. See if I can get that on some of one of the others as well. Start these by hand. Start going in? Yeah, that's going in now. Okay. Just going to take this off and get a normal ratchet. Right, so before we knit them up, we'll just check the torque tightness in the book. So we have our manual here, and we're looking at the flywheel to crankshaft, and it says 23 pounds per foot. This is the Haynes 500, 499, 594. They're all should all be the same from this perspective. So I've actually got this set a little bit too high at 25. I'm going to put it down to 23. There we go. Lock that in, and now start to tighten these up. we go. I'm going to do them in cross order. The spring washers on these make it far more difficult to get that right tension, because as you're tightening it's pushing it down at the same time, so you need to try and hold it down. There we go, on the Scott. Just check them round again in the same order. So that's that side done. Turn it over the other way very carefully. Let's do this in 2 stages. There we go. Okay, now our other bearing can go in. So again, plenty of our lube side here. Have it on the outside as well. Wipe off the lube. See if we can seat this nicely. Doesn't seem very central in here. There we go. That's better. There we go. Nicely seated now. Okay, now we can put bolts on this side. Again, we've got new bolts. Okay, so we're going to check the Okay. Main bearing support crankcase, so I've seen that's the chain end, and we're looking at £15 here, so significantly less. So I'm going to take this down to 15. Swap over to get them reasonably tight. Oh, going the wrong way. I'll do. Can get a the correct Allen key size. So I'm gonna have to do this just with a ratchet, because I don't have any way of fitting. Just gonna have to kind of judge it. Make sure they're nice and squashed. Don't want to over tighten. Don't want them to come loose either. Just check on these again. Oh. Yep, good. 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 And good. Now we can put these in. Now this goes with the chamfer down. Just going to put, because this would be a bit metally on metal, I'm going to put a little bit of this in. And on here as well.
You're about to see me make a grave error in the engine build here. So this is the front crankshaft sealing spacer, and as you see, it's got a groove within it. Now that groove fits onto the, or that spacer fits onto the crankshaft, and the groove needs to be facing inward to the engine block. I unfortunately installed it outwardly. The other side is flat, so it's the flat side you want to be able to see once it's installed. And this is important because that channel provides oil to the crankshaft. So it's important that you put it round the right way. Now, luckily, we started the engine for the first time, and there was no oil pressure. And that led us to investigate and find that this part was the wrong way round. So it's the only point in the build where we don't put it together correctly, but please make sure that you put this the right way round, with the gully facing inwardly and not following the exact steps in this video as you see it.
Just help that in to sit tight in here. There we go. Good. I'll just give a little bit of a wipe. Okay. So our bearings are on, our crank is in, crank turns, which is good, that's what we want.